welcome to this part 1 of 2 mini backpack video tutorials. We're going to make this adorable retro looking spiral mini backpack that you can use for a purse or give it away as a gift to a little girl, whatever you want. This is an intermediate to advanced pattern, so you need to be a little comfortable with your hook. Here's what you'll need to get started. Make sure you take a screenshot of this list. First, you're going to need 2mm macrame cord. You can choose 3 colors that you like together, and that will make up your color scheme. You will also need a 3.5mm hook, a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, and of course, you're going to need a yarn needle. There are a couple of different ways that you can get started with this project. The first one is the chain method, the chain ring. You can make 4, 5, 6 chains depending on what you need to fit this first round. I'm going to use the magic ring, and the first thing I'm going to do is secure my cord. We're going to be securing all 3 colors in this magic ring. It might look a little confusing, but it's really not once you start to see the pattern come through. We're going to start with 2 single crochet in the magic ring and 1 half double crochet with our first color. This is going to be my main color. You have to choose which one you like best for your main color. And this part of the magic ring, that little thread right there, we're going to use that to pull our center tight so that we don't have a large hole in the center of our backpack. This is how we are going to do our color change. This is going to be repeated throughout the pattern. You can either pull it long so that you don't get any unraveling, but the easiest way is to place a stitch marker right in the center of that loop so that no unraveling happens while you're working the other colors. Now I'm going to start working with my second color. I have like an ecru off-white color that I'm using. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the first color. I'm going to secure it to that magic ring. And we'll do our 2 single crochet, 1 half double crochet with this color. And change our colors by securing that last stitch with our stitch marker to make sure there is no unraveling. Let's add in our third and final color. I'm using a dark green, and we'll do the same thing that we did with the first 2 colors. We'll secure it, do 2 single crochets and 1 half double crochet, and secure that last stitch with our stitch marker. And if you're using the magic ring, you can pull on that thread so that you can tighten up that center so there's no hole. Now we've got our first round done, and we've incorporated all 3 of our colors, and you can see the beginning of our spiral starting to form. Let's put our hook back into this last stitch of our first color, and we're going to work 2 half double crochets over the top of the color 2 stitches in that first round. Now in this last stitch, I like to tug on that stitch marker just a little bit so that I can get a nice clean entrance into that last stitch. Let's do our color change step where we secure that last stitch with our stitch marker so there's no unraveling. Now let's pick up our second color with our hook and do the same thing over the top of the next 3 stitches. That's 2 half double crochets in each of the next 3 stitches. And we'll do our color change step and secure that last stitch with our stitch marker and move on to the next color. As we make these last stitches in the second round, make sure to only work the first 3 stitches and leave the rest of those stitches unworked. Let's pick up that color and make our 2 half double crochets in each of the next 3 stitches. And you can see that I kind of like to tuck those tails behind me as I go. That just saves me some time having to weave in ends later. Now we finished up round 2, and you can really see those spirals start to take shape. And here's a helpful little tip. Just make sure that you rotate your motif backwards after every round. That way your cords don't get tangled up. We'll do our color change step, and then we'll move on to our 3rd round. And at this point, I like to tug on that magic ring thread just so that I can tighten that circle up a little bit more. And we're going to place our hook in our first color again, and we're going to work over the top of the next 6 stitches. So we're going to work a repeat of 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that all along those 6 stitches. So 2 half double crochet, and then 1 half double crochet. And as we finish that last stitch, let's make sure to do our color change step and secure that last stitch with our stitch marker. Let's pick up that loop of color 2, and we're going to work that same repeat over the next 6 stitches. 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet over the next 6 stitches. And let's finish off this color with our color change step and secure that last stitch. We'll pick up our loop and do our repeat pattern of 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches, and leave those remaining stitches unworked. Secure that last stitch with your stitch marker, and we'll go on to round 4. Now you can see that our spiral is really starting to wind around. Each one of those sections should have the same number of stitches as you go around. So for this particular round, it's 9 stitches on each of those sections. We're going to pick up our first color, and we're going to work over the top a new repeat. It's going to be 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2 half doubles, 1 half double, 1 half double, and repeat over the top of those next 9 stitches. Let's do our color change step and move on to the second color, and we're going to do that same repeat over the top of the next 9 stitches. Pick up that loop and do your 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and work that along those 9 stitches. Let's do our color change step and move on to our third color. Let's pick up our loop and work that same repeat over the next 9 stitches and leave the remaining stitches unworked. Let's do our color change step, and that completes round 4. Remember to rotate your motif backwards so you don't tangle up your cord. Look at how cute that spiral is. We're going to start round 5. You can see that our pattern is becoming clearer and clearer as we go along. We're increasing by 3 stitches around this motif every round that we do. So for this one, we're going to do our 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And we're going to repeat that along the top of those 12 stitches. So 2 half double, 1 half double, 1 half double, 1 half double, and repeat over the top of those stitches. Let's do our color change step, and we'll go on to color 2. Let's pick up color 2, and we'll do that same repeat over the top of these next 12 stitches. 2 half doubles, 1 half double, 1 half double, 1 half double over the next 12 stitches. Let's do our color change step, and we'll move on to the last color in this round. Let's pick up color 3, and we'll work that repeat over the next 12 stitches, and leave those remaining stitches unworked. Okay, that finishes round 5. We're going to move on to round 6, and again, make sure that you rotate your motif backwards so that your cord stays untangled. And let's secure that last stitch so that we can change colors, and we'll work on round 6. Let's pick up color 1 and we will begin another repeat. This time 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half of double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 2 half double crochet, 4 half double crochet over the next 15 stitches. By now you should be pretty confident in our repeats, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you do those next 2 colors with the color change step in between each color and finish off round 6. And then we'll continue with round 7. Alrighty, let's get started with round 7. This is our final round before we finish off our motif and begin shaping the front of our backpack. Okay, let's pick up color 1 with our hook, and we're going to work another repeat. This one is going to be 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 5 half double crochet over the next 5 stitches, and you're going to repeat that over the top of the next 18 stitches. So 2 half double, 5 half double, and repeat over the next 18 stitches. Let's work our last stitch and secure it with our color change step, and pick up our next color and work that same repeat over the next 18 stitches, and do it again with color 3. And I'll see you back here for finishing off this motif in round 8, and after that we'll begin shaping the front of our backpack. And we're back. Look at how beautifully this has come together. It's spiraling out nicely, and it's going to be so adorable on the front of your backpack. Okay, so round 8 is a little bit different. We do not start with color 1. We are going to move to color 2, and we are going to leave those color 1 stitches unworked. And you'll see why when we get to that point. We're going to finish off this motif by tapering our stitches around, so we have a nice round circle at the end of this. And then after we finish that, we're going to pick up color 1 and we're going to start shaping the front of our backpack. We're going to square it off, and I'll show you how to do that after we finish this motif. Let's pick up color 2, and we're going to start with 5 half double crochets over the next 5 stitches. So 1 half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Next up, we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And lastly, we're going to slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches. Finish off after this last stitch and weave in the ends. And let's move on to color 3, and we're going to do the exact same thing with this color. We're going to put 5 half double crochets over the next 5 stitches, and then we will follow that with 3 single crochet over the next 3 stitches. After that, we'll do 3 slip stitches over the next 3 stitches, and then finish off color 3. And after that, we'll pick up with color 1, and I'll show you how we're going to square off this motif. Okay, let's pick up color 1 again, and we're going to do another repeat. This will be over the next 7 stitches. We're going to start with 2 half doubles and then 1 half double in each of the next 6 stitches. So we start with 2 half doubles and then 1 half double in each of the next 6 stitches, And then after that, you repeat it 5 times. I placed a stitch marker in that first stitch just so that I had a place to count my repeats from. That way I won't lose track of where I am in the pattern. Well, let's continue on with that repeat we started with, and we're going to do that 5 more times. And I wanted to take a second right here to talk about these slip stitches. You can go underneath them, but it does make a little bit of a hole. I just go push my way through into those slip stitches. It can be a little difficult, as you can see that I'm struggling with that here. The way to fix that is just to make your slip stitches a little looser, or you can go underneath like I said before, but it's totally up to you how you want to work those stitches. Alrighty, so after we finish these last couple of stitches, we're going to start the process of straightening out and squaring off this front panel. Let's work 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. And again, these are over the slip stitches, so work them however is best for you. I'm just going underneath the slip stitch themselves, even though I struggle a little bit. I just like the look of it better. And next we're going to do 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And our final stitch for round 9 is a double crochet in that next stitch. You can see right here that we're starting to get our straight edge, and then we're going to add 4 corners and straighten out each of the sides. And we'll do that in our final 10th round of the front panel. Okay, let's start round 10 by picking up color 1, and we're going to work a corner with 5 double crochets in the next stitch. And now that we have our first corner done, we're going to do a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets. And then after that, we're going to work 3 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches. And then over the next 4 stitches, we're going to work 4 single crochets. And now you can see we're squaring that off nicely, and we're starting to get a nice straight edge. And now we're going to work another corner, working backwards from what we just did. So this first section is 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And next we're going to do 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. After that, we work another corner with 5 double crochets in the next stitch. And now we have our 5 stitches in our corner, and we're going to start the process over again. We'll do 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. Then we'll do our 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And then we'll work our 4 single crochets over the next 4 stitches. And now let's start working another corner by starting with our 3 half double crochet over the next 3 stitches. And then we'll work our 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. Now let's work our third corner with 5 double crochets in the next stitch. And I just wanted to take a second right here to give you a look at what I see. And yours should look just like this. We have our 3 corners done. We're going to work our last side right here. And we're going to start that with our 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. Now let's work our 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And then let's work our 4 single crochets over the next 4 stitches. And let's finish our final corner with our 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And then let's work our 3 double crochet over the next 3 stitches. And then we'll finish our final corner with 5 double crochets in the next stitch. Now that we've got our last corner done, we're just going to square off the rest of this motif, and then we'll work on building our backpack. So we'll work this the same as we did before, 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And then we'll work our 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. This is where it gets a little different. We're going to work 10 single crochets over the next 10 stitches. And after we get this last single crochet done, we're going to take a peek at the front of our backpack, and you can see how it's very nicely squared off. We have one last little thing to do in this round, and then we'll be finished with round 10 and our motif. Let's finish off round 10 with 2 single crochet decreases. Go in the next stitch, draw up a loop, next stitch, draw up a loop, and then draw through all 3 loops on the hook. And you'll do that 2 times over the next 4 stitches. And there we have it. There is our beautiful spiral motif that will be gracing the front of our mini backpack. Next, we're going to work on building up the sides of our backpack, and we're only going to work 3 sides. So these will be worked in rows rather than rounds. And we won't be finishing this off at all. We're going to continue with the thread that we have on our hook. Okay, let's begin our side panels. We're going to work in the back loop only of each of these stitches, and then we're going to work all the way around the 3 sides so that we have a nice shape to our backpack. We're going to start in the corner stitch, and we're going to put 1 single crochet in the back loop only of that stitch. Next, we're going to do a single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. And then we work 16 single crochets over the next 16 stitches. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll begin working on the next corner. Here's our 16th stitch, and we're going to work a single crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches of our corner. Then we will put a single crochet in the next stitch and a decrease over the next 2 stitches. That's decrease, single crochet, decrease. We're going to work that over the next corner as well. Now you can see here, since we've done a little bit, why we do the back loop only. It gives us a nice edge for our backpack. And then we're going to work our 16 single crochet in the back loop only, go to our corner and work that same repeat that we did in the last corner. So 16 single crochets over the next 16 stitches, back loop only. We've come to our next corner. We're going to work that single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to work a single crochet in the next stitch and another decrease over the next 2 stitches. Here you can see how our panels are starting to take shape. And those decreases that we're doing are helping to give us sharper corners. Let's start work on our last panel. We're going to do the 16 single crochet over the next 16 stitches in the back loop only, and then we'll get to the end of our first row and we'll chain 1 and start on the second row. We've reached the corner. Let's do a single crochet decrease just as we did before, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the back loop only of that corner stitch. Now we have our first row of our 3 panels done. We're going to leave the top stitches unworked, And you can see how this is starting to build up so that we're starting to get a little bit of a container looking shape. It's starting to look like a little box. Then we want to chain 1 and turn. And we'll do 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around. So every single crochet in each panel, we're going to do a single crochet. And this is going to be our repeat until we have 4 rows of single crochets. Go ahead and do those 3 rows of single crochets, and then we'll meet back here to start working the back panel of our backpack. All right, let's start working our back panel. We're going to work in the back loop only of this first row, and we're going to work 20 single crochets. And that's our 20th stitch. Now let's take a look at it. You can see that when we work the back loop only, it helps us start to turn that corner and begin creating that back panel. Now we're going to connect to the bottom panel, and we're going to do that with slip stitches. You need to place a slip stitch in the back loop only of the next 2 stitches. All right, that's connected us to our back panel. We're going to turn. There's no chaining or anything. We're just going to skip those first 2 slip stitches, and we're going to single crochet in each of the single crochets across. So 20 single crochets across, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. And let's start our next row. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 20 stitches. And then when we get to the bottom panel again, we're going to do that 2 slip stitch technique to connect it to the bottom panel. So that's our row repeat. You're going to repeat the last 2 rows until you get to 17 rows, and then I will show you how we finish it. Okay, we've done row 17. We're going to connect this to the other panel right there, and you can see how cute this is turning out. Look at how that's coming together. It's going to make an adorable mini backpack. Let's pick up our thread again, and then we're going to start working another row. So go ahead and make your 20 stitches, and then we'll come back and connect it to the side panel. Okay, so now we are going to connect to our corner with those 2 slip stitches. I'm going to remove my stitch marker from that corner stitch and then slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Back loop only, of course. Okay, let's turn it, and we're going to connect our last panel with slip stitches. This will be a little different than what we were doing before. We're not going to have exactly the same seam, but it will blend in nicely anyway. So let's put our hook through the back loop only of that first stitch in the panel, go under the single crochet of our last row, and then slip it through. And we're just going to keep doing that all the way down. All right, so go ahead and keep doing that until you get to your last stitch. And after you're done with that, make sure you do not fasten off your thread. We're going to continue working with that, creating the rim around the top of the bag. Okay, now that we're finished with that part of it, let's take a look at our bag. Now it's time to work the rim around the top of the bag. This is fairly simple and straightforward. I've chained 1, and I'm going to work 4 single crochets evenly across that first panel. Now we're going to work a single crochet in each of the 20 stitches on the front panel. And then we'll do another 4 single crochets evenly across that other side panel. And then we'll work 20 single crochets evenly across that back panel. So let's make these 20 stitches and then I'll see you at the next panel. Okay, and here we are at the side panel and we're going to work our 4 stitches evenly across. Okay, and for this back panel we're going to work our 20 stitches evenly across. And then this will be our first round, and then you want to do a second round where you put 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets. So just make sure to mark that first stitch so you know where you've started. Okay, now I'm back and finishing up this second round of single crochets. You can see our rim is starting to come along. And now we're going to start working on round 3. These are going to be half double crochets with some chain spaces. And those holes are what we'll weave our drawstring through so that we can close our purse. Let's start with a chain 5 in that first stitch of the second round. This will count as our first half double crochet, the first 2 chain stitches, and our 3 chain space. Then we'll skip the next 2 single crochets and we'll do a half double crochet in that third stitch. And now we'll start our repeat for this round, which is 3 chain stitches, skip over the next 2 single crochets and a half double crochet in that next stitch. And just repeat that all the way around. Also wanted to note before you get to the end, if you end up with a stitch too much or a stitch too short, that's fine. Just work it the best way that you can. Really all we need is those holes so that we can weave through our drawstring. So go ahead and finish that, and then we'll finish off our rim with the next 2 rounds. Okay, I finished up that round, and I'm not going to join with a slip stitch in that second chain stitch. I'm going to go ahead and single crochet right into that stitch. And then we're going to do single crochets all the way around. And then we'll do our repeat for this round. We're going to put 2 single crochets in the chain 3 space and 1 single crochet in that half double crochet. And we're just going to do that all the way around. And then to finish it off, we're going to do 1 more round of single crochets in each single crochet. So you can go ahead and do that. And then I'll meet you back here to preview part 2 of our project. Alrighty, so I finished that second row of single crochets, and I'm going to fasten this off, and you'll want to weave in that end later on. Look at how adorable. Okay, so this finishes part 1 of our tutorial. I'm going to link to part 2 at the end of this video, and you can head on over there to finish off the project. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Help me out with the algorithm. And let me know if you make this, because I love seeing what other people create with the patterns that I've made. And this video is meant to complement the written pattern that I have in my shop. There's a link to that in the description. And I'd love to have you come back for part 2 so we can finish this up. Thanks for watching. Take care, friend.